Divorce in the modern time. It does not come as a shocker nowadays for a couple to get a divorce because couples are getting divorced left and right. Why people get a divorce, we will never really know. It is as easy as going online and fighting for one. A quote from the book Social Problems by Ana Guerrero says, "You also find handy guides to complete your own divorce paperwork. And if you like to send a greeting card to your partner that says, 'Happy to be without you,' you can send one of that too." This may sound mean, but it just comes to show how easy it is to get a divorce nowadays. Now it is also not a taboo subject. It has become more acceptable. Because if you were to go back to the 1950s, 1970s, and you would say, "Oh, I'm getting a divorce," you were more likely be frowned upon because it didn't really happen back then. Is divorce even happening? You might think that divorce is really common, but according to this graph, it actually declined at some point. Between 1970 and the 2005, there was an increase in divorce, but between 2005 and 2010, there was a slight decline. Why that happened? One of the reasons that came out was because they think that couples nowadays are actually thinking about getting married versus back then when you were just married because you were already old enough to get married. Who it really affects? We know that it really affects the children. Deborah Gaitning, C. Ryan Kinlaw, and Linda L. Dunlap conducted a research over a span of 10 years to see the progress between kids with divorced parents and married parents. They found that high school kids were more affected more than middle school kids. A problem that the kids with divorced parents encounter is that one parent tries to outshine the other, as to say, if a young boy is playing basketball and the mom is the one that shows up to the games more versus a dad, the mom can tell the kid, "Oh, look, your dad doesn't care." That just brainwashes the kid and think, "Oh, well, my dad doesn't care. Let me like my mom more." Teens feel divorced more than kids because they are more aware of what's going on around them. If you tell a middle school kid, "Oh, we're getting a divorce, we're separating," they really do not overthink what's going on. But if you were to tell a teen in high school, "Oh, we're getting a divorce," and if that child isn't the oldest child, they're going to think, "Oh, well, everything's going to fall upon me. I'm going to have more stress." And in high school, as it is, teens are going through a very hard time. Parenting styles in divorced families. Since mostly when parents get a divorce, the child more than likely goes with the mother. The fathers tend to be put aside. Permissive and authoritative parenting are the most common in divorced families. Permissive parenting style is where the parent lets the kid do whatever they want just so they can think they are cool. Authoritative parenting is the parenting style that mostly the mom will practice because the dad is set aside. So the mom will set down the law and say, "You will not do this," and they're very strict. Versus the father will be the permissive one because you're like, "Well, let me help my child out and being cool so they can like me." The child is more likely to receive both, which is not good because they're just going to be confused all over the place. Long-term effects for children. A child might think since their parents' marriage was a fail, so will theirs. They can even have anxiety and lack of trust with romantic relationships, even friendships, because of what they went through. They are more prone to feel pessimistic towards a failing marriage. So let's say a young man experienced divorce when he was a little boy and he's having problems with his wife now. He's going to be, "Well, my parents got a divorce, not really a big deal. Let's get a divorce too." Is divorce in your genes? It has not really been proven, but research has been shown that if you come from a divorced family, you have a 77.5 chance of getting a divorce. If both of you come from a family that is not divorced, your chances are 5.3. It does not really mean that, oh, if you come from a divorced family, you're going to get a divorce. But it has been shown that it can happen. To conclude, divorce is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's best for the sake of the family. It is not frowned upon anymore, so it is more common. So nothing is really going to happen in society if a divorce happens because it is more common.